Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Obviously, this is not a regular video, but anyway, it's a special one. Why? T-shirt, what the hell, right? It's a sacrilege. But the piece of information of news that I just got could not keep me away from this camera, and I would like to share that with you. What happened? Well, Israel was ordered by United Nations Court of Justice to halt its operations in Rafah. Right, Rafah? I'm going to show you here. Bang, this is from CNN today. So let me put my goggles, which I obviously need, because age requires that. So let's read this little article. I have one. They were ordered, legal order. But guess what Israel will do? Can you guess? All right, I will read that too. CNN, United Nations top court orders Israel, all right, to immediately halt its operation in Rafah. The United Nations top court has ordered Israel to immediately halt its controversial military operation in the southern Gaza city of Rafah, further increasing international pressure on Israel over its war against Hamas. And I'm quoting, Israel must immediately halt its military offensive and any other action in Rafah which may inflict on the Palestinian group in Gaza conditions of life that could bring about a physical destruction in whole or in part, end quote. Judge Nawaf Salam, president of the International Court of Justice, ICJ, said on Friday. Now, this is not the International Court of Justice, what's that, for The Hague? The one that is just an organization. This is from United Nations, so it's different. All right, so it says here, the court considers the humanitarian situation in Rafah to be classified as quote-unquote disastrous. He said, adding the United Nations officials have indicated that the situation was set to, and I'm quoting, intensify even further, end quote, if the Israeli operation in Rafah continues. More than 1 million Palestinians were taking shelter in Rafah before Israel started its operation, but the court noted that around 800,000 have since been displaced. Well, that's one article, and I'm going to give you, obviously, the Israel's answer. You can read it right there, and that is from DPA International. Israel rejects order by United Nations Court to immediately, quote-unquote, halt Rafah assault. So what could be the implications? Oh, obviously, if that would be another country, it would be probably sanctions, maybe a military intervention like in Yugoslavia, but don't hold your breath. In a move rejected by Israeli officials, the United Nations top court on Friday ordered Israel to immediately halt its military assault on the southern Gaza city of Rafah, saying the humanitarian situation in the Palestinian territory was disastrous, end quote. The ruling read aloud by Judge Nawaf Salam at the International Court of Justice, ICJ, in The Hague, was in response to an urgent application submitted by South Africa. South Africa justified its application to the ICJ by arguing that the court's provisions measure in connection with the Gaza were not adequate. Israel rejected Friday's ruling. The charges, and I'm quoting, the charges of genocide brought by South Africa against Israel at the International Court of Justice in The Hague are false, outrageous, and morally repugnant, end quote. Maybe the actions are? Anyway, the head of the National Security Council, of the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, said in a joint statement. So, they said that, but these guys talk about the Court of Justice. Now, International Court of Justice, ICJ, right? And then we have here, oh, the other one is, this is from May 25, 2024. And they talk about here the International Court of Justice, and the other ones are International Court of Justice, ICJ. So what are you going to do? Do you think it's going to happen anything? No, I don't think it's going to happen anything. I think the Israelis will continue what they do best, and the Americans will back them. They will talk. Obviously, the Americans will talk, but I don't think anything will be solved. Why? Well, when you have owners, you can't make the owner do something that the owner doesn't want to do. In this case, obviously, obviously the situation is as it is. It's unfortunate, very unfortunate. I think it's, well, I don't want to say criminal, but could be called maybe that way, where it's a tragedy, and that shows you how the certain countries can, with impunity, act in a certain way that other countries are not allowed to. And if you give me, some people try to argue certain actions by saying past this, past discrimination, past this, past crimes are, well, what's in the past? In the past, the laws still apply to you equally. Like sometimes you have someone who says, well, I was abused as a child. You still have to drive the speed limit or under, or you have to, abide by the laws of the land, even if you were discriminated, even if you were abused, even wrong was done to you. You still, the laws apply to you as well. The same thing with the thing in Gaza. Well, self-defense, self-defense. But remember, we all can claim self-defense. That's one. And the other one is self-defense has limits. You can't just drop 2 atomic bombs on 2 cities, can you? Wait, they did it, didn't they? On 2 occasions. And then they would have gone further and further if the Japanese did not surrender unconditionally. So I think the same thing will happen here. Israel will continue doing what it can do. Nobody will be able to tell. I mean, they will all tell or can tell Israel whatever they want, but Israel will not listen to anybody. And remember, don't fall on this trap, which is it's Netanyahu. It's not Netanyahu. Netanyahu is just a figurehead. I mean, in a way that he's a face of something. If Netanyahu is out, another guy is going to do the same thing. So don't, if you think, oh, if Netanyahu goes, everything will be great. No, it's not Netanyahu. It's the whole situation. Remember, that land was promised by God. So if it's Netanyahu or Jabalah or Zelensky Stein or Salzburg or Kamban, it doesn't really matter, right? It's a destiny, my friends. It's a destiny. Oops, I'm hitting it. So anyway, maybe not like that. Which way should I turn? There you go. No, one mirror. Mirror on the wall. Who's the whitest of them all? Not me. Anyway, my friends, Israel will continue to do that. And the thing is, now some idiots will realize that allowing certain countries to develop nuclear weapons and then don't investigate, don't control them, or let everybody else have it. That's gonna bite them in the ass, because eventually Israel cannot be made to do anything. The problem is like North Korea. North Korea cannot be made to things, but you see, anything. But why? Nuclear weapons. But North Korea did not or does not bomb anybody. Well, you say, well, nobody attacked North Korea. That's also true. But I don't think Israel will be just like North Korea. How do you call it? Isolated, because it has things to do where other people live. So that's very tricky. The problem is, you can thank now some Western countries that allowed this nuclear program to develop calmly. Remember JFK, before he was assassinated, it's just a coincidence, Oswald killed Kennedy. Okay, let's have that over there. He wanted to go and investigate Israelis nuclear program. I can't remember the name of the site. Sonoma, Sodoma, something like that. And then, no. Well, you find out. It's dangerous. They have nuclear weapons. I mean, I can have an opinion, and my opinion is, even if it's dumb opinion, I can share it. I think they have nuclear weapons. And the other guys know they have them. Nothing will happen to Israel. And they will do whatever they want. And the problem is that the States of America, which, you remember, Yugoslavia and these guys, Syria gassed its own people, blah, blah, let's intervene. Nothing like that. Maybe it's going to be some talk, but nothing will come out of this. And it's not Netanyahu. Remember that when these guys say, hey, Netanyahu should go, and Netanyahu goes, nothing will change. Just a little bit of of a big lie will change its narrative. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.